name is Sean Taylor. I'm a writer and director, and I'm here to talk about my script, Our Last Days. So Our Last Days follows a young man who lives in a kind of a post-apocalyptic world where you get the idea that a pandemic has wiped out most of the population and that he's living essentially by himself, where he doesn't know of many other people around. And so as he survives in this world where there's no more water, there's no more electricity, he tries to make adjustments in his home to kind of replicate the old world. So for example, one of the major points is that he has a movie poster that he has on his television, and we see him watch the poster and we know it's just a poster, but for him he's actually watching the movie. And so we see that in the film through his eyes, and he actually watches the movie through the poster. And so that takes place in the living room, which is the major interior location. And so with the interior location, we have obviously the poster and the TV, but then we have smaller elements to suggest the world that he lives in, where we have a broken clock to show that he keeps around things that don't necessarily function, but they're things that you would have had in our current world, in his pre-pandemic world. And then we have other things like the water jug that he has to use when he gathers water, and a candle that's like an improvised candle that's used like a can with like fat or something to make a candle of his own to light the room, because there's no more lighting anymore, or there's no more electricity for the lights. And it mostly takes place inside that single interior location, and so it becomes integral to the storytelling that the interior location is done properly. And we can see that it's part of a larger house, but it still is where most of the movie takes place, because that's where he watches his movie and he kind of lives out his life like you normally would. The only parts of it that take place outside are when we just see him entering the house or exiting the house, and that just gives us an idea of how empty and quiet this world is around him. So to make this movie work, it needs to have a well-designed interior location and an exterior location that also conveys the reality of the world to us. With proper production design, we can convey the story through his surroundings and the small details that make up the world he lives in. And using that, we can make a compelling story about this man trying to maintain his sanity. Thank you.